Thank you, Presiding Officer.
I now call Jim Eadie to be followed by Jean Urquhart, who will be the last speaker in the open debate.
Presiding Officer, I am grateful to you for calling me to speak in this debate on an issue that means so much to me and to so many of us. It is a day which many of us did not think we would see in our lifetime, but I am immensely proud that this Parliament will, at decision time this evening, pass into law a bill which will allow same-sex couples to marry. There have been outstanding contributions from the front benches and across the chamber this afternoon. Presiding Officer, I believe that this bill is the measure of a civilised and just society. It is the hallmark of a country which is comfortable in its own skin, one which says with quiet dignity and confidence, we value all of our citizens equally. Loving and committed relationships between two people should be accorded parity of esteem and equal status before the law, whether it be between two women, between two men, or between a man and a woman. And like Marco Biagi, I have been reminded of this by the rich personal testimony I have received throughout the extensive passage of this bill. And Christian Allard is right. This bill is about people, and it is life-changing. Only yesterday, I received a letter from a constituent, a woman, urging me to support the legislation. She said, I am in a civil partnership and feel it is second-class marriage. The terminology is terrible. Civil partnership sounds cold and legal, and I have to explain what it is, that it's marriage but not quite marriage. She went on, I'm forced to mark myself as different, as not straight, as not married. That is tiresome, and I don't want these battles. Talking about my partner shouldn't be about the terminology, it should be about a relationship. I was humbled to receive a letter from a young man of 26 who wrote to me today. He said, I have always known that I wanted to be married, not civil partnered, not something other, not something different, married. I had thought we would have to go abroad to do this, but thanks to the decision taken today, we can marry here in Scotland. I now look forward to what will be the happiest day of my life, marrying the person I love in the place I call home. I said in the Stage 1 debate that Scotland had been a cold and inhospitable place for many people, myself included, to grow up in as gay or lesbian in the 1980s and 1990s. I'm glad that Scotland is no longer that cold and inhospitable place. I believe this bill will have a hugely positive impact on our society and on the health and well-being of LGBT people across our country. Future generations of young people in Scotland can grow up as gay and lesbian without the self-doubt and self-loathing which many people of mine and previous generations faced. They will know that their intrinsic worth as a human being is accepted by the society of which they are a member. And Scotland now has one of the most progressive equal marriage bills in the world. We started the process earlier than England and Wales, and we have taken longer in our consultation and consideration of the legislation. But like the Equality Network, I believe that the length of time it has taken has been well worth the wait. Scrapping the spousal veto and allowing the option of gender-neutral marriage ceremonies mean that the legislation will provide genuine marriage equality for all, including trans and intersex people. And as Linda Fabiani reminded us, 34 years after Scotland decriminalised male homosexuality in 1980, we have the opportunity to remove the final piece of sexual orientation discrimination from Scots law and to create full legal equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people. Now, many people deserve credit for achieving this milestone in our history, and special mention must go to Tim Hopkins and Tim French of the Equality Network, Colin McFarlane of Stonewall Scotland, the Transgender Alliance, as well as many others who played their part in bringing us to this day. We should also remember those who are no longer with us, and I think of the Scottish Homosexual Rights Group many decades ago, people like Janie Buchan, Robin Cook, Father Anthony Ross, and yes, our own Scots maker, Edwin Morgan. Today is a day to pause and reflect on how far we have come as a society, and the mood has been celebratory, as Jackson Carlaw reminded us. This is a day where we come together as a parliament and as a nation to proclaim the importance of marriage as an institution open to all. Men and women across Scotland have new cause to hope for their future, the wondrous possibilities that may present themselves, and the chance to share their lives with the person they love. Like all of us, I too have cause for optimism for my future. Perhaps a personal lad in the Scotsman, slim, athletic, professional, 45-year-old male, seeks husband to share his life and passions, must like a good debate but not take themselves too seriously. All applications will be carefully considered. Presiding Officer, I jest, but this is a profound moment in our nation's history. While we do not yet live in a society free from prejudice and discrimination, this law is a bold and positive step towards creating a Scotland based on the first principles of fairness and justice for all. It is the final step in the journey for equality for the LGBT community in Scotland, and it is one of which I and all of us within and out with this chamber can be rightly and immensely proud.
Jean Urquhart.